a name in the newspaper. I want people to know who she was and that she was a good person.
Y'all, I don't know if y'all have heard about this story about this young woman named Jamea Harris, who was 23 years old and was shot because she didn't want to talk to a guy that approached her. So I'm going to give you guys a backdrop of what the court records is indicating that happened that fateful night. And then I'm going to let the news outlet give you guys a play-by-play of how they saying new charges that could be coming forth with them killing this young mother. The mother of the 23-year-old Birmingham woman who was shot to death says the young mother was killed because she didn't want to talk to a group of guys. Jamea Harris's mother, Declara Harris, said her daughter had gone to Tuscaloosa with her boyfriend to visit her cousin, who attends the University of Alabama. Court records release states that Harris died early Sunday morning after she was shot in her Jeep by Michael Lynn Davis, 20, of Maryland, using a gun provided by Darius Miles, 21. The shooting happened after Harris and her boyfriend had went to a club with other friends and then stopped on the way home to grab something to eat with her cousin. Her mother says, while they were sitting in their car waiting for their food, one of the suspects approached the car and was trying to talk to Harris. She, the cousin, said they were dancing around the car trying to get their attention. Harris said they were like a boyfriend. We don't want to talk. They kept going on, and eventually her boyfriend in the back seat rolled down the window. Her said he was like, she already told you she got a boyfriend, you need to leave. One of the suspects repeatedly said, you don't know who I am? You don't know what I do? I smack people. I'm not for sure which one of them said that. Her said, the guy kept saying, I smack people. You don't know who I am. Harris' boyfriend told the other group of people with them that it was time to leave. He didn't feel comfortable. Something might happen, she said. He was like, let's get out of here. They were still waiting for their food, so they didn't leave immediately. It was then Heard said that her daughter and the other got intentionally blocked in from leaving, and one of the suspects approached the car with a gun. He walked up to the car, pulled the gun, she said. Harris' boyfriend had a gun as well. Gunfire followed. He started shooting erratically, bullets going everywhere, Heard said, of the suspect. He said he was running away, shooting backwards at the car. That's when bullets struck my daughter. Harris' boyfriend was able to maneuver the car away from the scene and drove until he saw a police car, which was at the Walk of Champions. Harris was pronounced dead on the scene. Heard said her daughter's death is absolutely senseless. I'm the mother that gets up in the morning and watches the news, and I see stuff like this happen to other people's kids, and I send my prayers and condolences, not thinking I'm going to be that mother the next morning, Heard said. It's just unreal. Harris's son Kane does not know his mother has passed. It's like I just don't have the words, Heard said. At some point I need to say it, but I don't know if I have it in me to hold it together to tell him that. We've just been surrounding him with love, keeping him entertained so he doesn't realize what's going on. Harris was a graduate of Winona High School and worked overnights at Amazon. Heard worked during the day, so between the two of them, Kane was always taken care of. They all lived together. We worked well together, Heard said. I was still raising her. She was still a baby. She was still learning about life and how to take care of a family. She was an investment for me. I wanted her to flourish and just be a responsible young lady, and it was just taken from me, Heard said. It's just horrible. You don't realize how much support you have until you need it, Heard said. It's overwhelming. You really truly know who your friends and family members are when they come to you in your time of need. Heard said she wants her daughter's legacy to be more about her life than her death. I just don't want her to be a name in an article, she said. I want people to know she wasn't a party girl. She just wanted to see her family. She worked hard and she wanted to have a good time with her family. I want people to know she was a mother, a daughter, a granddaughter, and so many people loved her, she said. I want people to know what was taken from us.
We're still following that tragic situation from Tuscaloosa over the weekend. An Alabama basketball player no longer with the team after being arrested yesterday on a charge of capital murder.
Let's go now to our Jake Stanzo, who is live in Tuscaloosa. Jake, head coach Nate Oates addressing the reporters today and talking about this tragedy.
Good evening, guys. Such a really difficult situation. Nate Oates spoke with the media today inside Coleman Coliseum for the first time since the incident occurred and for the first time since his now former player Darius Miles was arrested. And really it was a moment about humanity. Players on the team that know Darius are friends with Darius. Of course, you think about Nate Oates and his relationship with Darius. But again, the players and everyone knows the severity of the situation and how a senseless act ultimately cost the life of Jamea Harris. Oates said,
yeah, I've got 3 daughters. Went through my mind how easily could have been one of mine. Tough situation. Talked to Darius's mother multiple times yesterday. Very hard situation on both accounts. So, just continue to pray for Jamea and her family.
Nate Oates said he was first made aware of what all was going on earlier on Sunday and immediately called athletic director Greg Byrne to discuss how to move forward. And if you think about it, it's such a difficult situation to even think about how to prepare for something like this. But the team held a team meeting, lots of hugs, and just a moment to be able to process things. And the team, they do have a game scheduled tomorrow night against Vanderbilt. They will be traveling to Nashville. And Nate Oates said all players that are available that can play will play. But he also wants his players and anyone to know that there are resources and services available should anyone need help. Live in Tuscaloosa, Jake Stansel, WBRC Fox 6 News, on your side.
Getting new clarification on why former Crimson Tide basketball player Darius Miles is facing a criminal charge, capital murder, even though he says he didn't pull the trigger in the shooting and killing of Birmingham mom Jamea Harris.
Yeah, court records show Miles does admit providing the gun to the person who allegedly shot her. Our Tristan Rupert is live at 5 with an attorney on how that may be connected to a charge that could possibly bring the death penalty, Tristan.
That's right, Jonathan. Criminal defense attorney or lawyer Tommy Spina actually stressed this is all because of a concept in our law known as aiding and abetting. Spina says that essentially you are responsible for those individual actions that are reasonably foreseeable in the commission of a crime. So in this case in particular, since investigators say Miles admitted to handing the gun to Michael Lynn Davis and supposedly Davis then shot the gun, killing Harris, then both of these men would be charged. Now, Spina also stressed the situation is capital in nature because the shooter fired into an occupied vehicle, which automatically upgrades the charges to capital. Still, Spina says this case is early on in its investigation.
Keep in mind that all that we are determining at this point is whether there is probable cause for him to be charged with that offense. This probable cause is a standard of proof, and it just happens to be the lowest of low standards of proof.
Spina stressed this will be a long process, and currently both the individuals charged actually sit behind bars in Tuscaloosa. We'll update you as soon as we learn more about perhaps a preliminary hearing date, but at the moment that has not been scheduled. Reporting on Tuscaloosa, Tristan Rupert, WBRC Fox 6 News, on your side.
Student Darius Miles was arrested over the weekend. Michael Davis was also arrested, having no connection with the school. Both Miles and Davis are being held without bond on capital murder charges.
Well, Jamea Harris was a 23-year-old mother from Birmingham who was enjoying life in Tuscaloosa alongside her cousin and her boyfriend. Today, her family still in shock.
Only on WVTM 13, our Rick Carley sits down with Jamea's mother and stepfather who are trying to come to grips with this tragic loss.
How can a 23-year-old friend, a mother, a daughter, be gone so soon? Jamea Harris's mother and stepfather have no answers. Just a day after they lost her, they want the world to know about their princess, Jamea.
I don't want her story to get lost. I don't want her to get lost as just a name in a newspaper. I want people to know who she was and that she was a good person. She really was. She was a good person and she didn't deserve it.
DeCarla Hurd and her husband Kelvin wished Jamea well on Saturday as she headed to Tuscaloosa with her boyfriend and cousin. In the early hours of Sunday, Jamea was gone.
It's just a dagger through everybody's heart.
DeCarla knew years ago her daughter was going to be something, from being a cheer dancer at Winona High School to way back in preschool when she named herself Princess Jamea.
Everything that she did, they followed behind her.
Leader.
A leader.
That leader grew to be the mother of a 5-year-old son named Kane, a son she leaves just as she was teaching him to master his holiday gift.
She was just now starting to get him to teach him how to ride a bike. He got his first bike this Christmas with training wheels. She was just now starting to teach him how to ride his bike.
And the most heartbreaking thing ever, the young boy still doesn't know that he's lost his mama.
That sweet boy, I just don't know how we're gonna have to find the strength to tell him. And he's starting to look around for his mother. And
you just don't know how to tell.
A 23-year-old mother is gone. And now, DeCarla and Kelvin are fighting the fight.
I will fight for justice for this senseless act from both suspects.
Not
involved.
just for her, but for her son as well. They need to know that she wasn't just a random person. She was a mother. She had a child at home waiting on her.
That son and the entire family wishing that a beautiful life never had to leave.
Like I said, she was just full of life. She had so much life to live. And it's just hard. It's hard to think that we won't have it again.
Princess Jamea was everything. Friend, mother, daughter, and more.
She was 23, but that was my baby, and I was still raising my baby to make her a good mother, you know? Yeah. So I'll never be the same person again. I won't.
DeCarla, the entire family will never be the same. So heartbreaking. As Mom DeCarla mentioned before I left, her beautiful daughter never will get a chance to see her son Kane take the training wheels off his bike. Back to you.